Every season I'm ballin'. Brody walk down like he Kimbo. He hopping out the little shots out the window. I'm from the 2 drippin' sound like Lorenzo. Little nigga Glock when he make him look tenfold. He posted up on the back strip, flipping that work. He do semis and front flip. We put your bro on the run list. Soon as that work coming in the touchdown, I'ma punt it. It's gone.
Alright, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to be talking about why I got arrested. A lot of y'all been asking why you haven't been posting videos, everything like that. So let's just get straight into it for real. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to break down the whole trip, why everything happened, what happened, everything like that. So there's no questions like, oh, why you did this, why you did that. I'm going to just explain literally everything because I feel like everyone been asking about it, so, you know. But yeah, the reason I'm doing this video, I feel a little more confident about myself because I finally got my teeth. If y'all know, I got in a huge accident on June 14th, 2022. They had me out for a good minute. I got back from that, I recovered quickly, luckily, or really got blessed from that, I would say, because the chances of me living from that were very, very, very slim. It was literally a 10% chance of living. So the fact that I lived for that, I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I did lose a lot of teeth. But luckily I had a company reach out to my mom through her family, friends or whatever. And it's called Smart Arches. And I'll show you guys a little. Yeah, as y'all can see, Smart Arches. They helped me out with dental work. You can see what they specialize in is dental implants. See right there. But yeah, I needed that surgery. I was missing. I'll show some pictures. I know some people don't want to see it, you know, but I'll show y'all for the people curious. I was missing like 8 bottom teeth, and then in the very left-hand corner of the top, I was missing another like 8. So in total, I had like unreal 16 something, like around that, teeth missing. So I'm very grateful for being able to have teeth again. There's more confidence for that, for sure. Everyone been asking me like, why have you been arrested, everything like that. So I'm gonna break everything down. All right, so June 20 something, I left to go to France. I was originally supposed to fly into the UK and then travel with Mac Custom and other people. I was originally supposed to travel with them to Paris. I missed my flight. Long story short, I had to get a new flight, and then from that flight, since they was already driving from the UK to Paris, I had to find a flight to Paris because the flight from Philly to the UK, it's like 7 hours, something like that. So we couldn't do it in like a day's span where I could just get to the UK and then they'll wait for me, because it wasn't working like that. It was already a ride-out weekend. Everything was busy. Had to get that in order. And so I booked my flight to Paris, landed in Paris, very messy. Like, I got to the airport, I'm waiting at the airport for like 6 hours. No one was really helping me out. Everyone was like, oh yeah, when you land, we'll get you, whatever. No one was helping me out with that. So finally, my guy Yellow, if y'all know who Yellow is, I'll show y'all a little picture, you know. That's who Yellow is. And he was like, bro, we gotta get you out of the airport. So he took one of the UK people's cars, because a couple of them drove from the UK, took the train, and then got into Paris with their car. Took one of the UK people's cars to the airport to come get me. Mind you, the strip that they were at was like an hour away, something like that. They were all riding, that's why they didn't want to get me. They was just too focused on riding, they was not worried about me for real. So Yellow's on his way to come get me. And then, I forgot to mention to y'all, since we're in Europe, you need to message your cell provider and let them know that you're in Europe to get the plan to have the access for your phone on the internet, everything like that. I got Yellow, he did not have the service yet. He was just messaging me off people from Europe's hotspot. I got in contact with him through that, luckily. When he left everyone, he had no hotspot because everyone's at the strip and it's only him coming to get. So he put the address in the GPS, and he drove with no cell signal, just GPS service to the airport. And so what happened was I told him a location I'm at while he had the hotspot. When I took the picture and sent it to him, but then like 10 minutes later, I'm realizing, I'm like, yo, this is an only taxi area. So I'm like, shit, I gotta find a whole new spot. And then I forgot that he didn't have cell service. So he couldn't see where I was at. He could only see where I was supposed to be at. Finally gets to the airport. He's going around the airport for like an hour looking for me. I messaged him, but of course he couldn't receive the message. It said, yo, just go in the airport. They got free Wi-Fi and you'll see my new location. And of course, he never received the message, so he didn't know that. And I finally see him. I'm like, yo, that's gotta be yellow in that car. Finally, I'm like, yo, thank God. So we blast out of the airport, get on the highway. We're headed towards the strip. It's a lot of traffic in the lane we're supposed to merge into to get off the highway, to go onto another highway. Yellow merges in between the two cars, like quickly. And as soon as he merged in between the two cars, we look in front of us and there's a police van. And they just point at us, they just take us to the side. I'll show you the video right here. They took us to the side, they pulled us over, and they're like, where's your French driving license, whatever? We're like, no, from America, like this and that. They're like, I don't think you understand. Trying to just like tell us that we couldn't drive and shit. And we were giving them the runaround. And it was to the point where they didn't know English, so they couldn't do anything about it. So they're just like, all right, you can go. So they let us go. We took the drive all the way to the strip. I forget exactly where the strip was. Unluckily, I'll get to tell y'all while I don't have the footage of the GoPro and everything. Y'all will hear about that later. So we get to the strip. The place is flooded with cops. It is flooded, like police vans, police cars, everything. And the French people are talking to the police, trying to figure out like what's going on, like what could we do about riding at the strip, everything. But the police pretty much were like, yo, you gotta get out of here. We finally get out of there after like an hour or two, loading up everyone's bikes and stuff. Because mind you, it's probably like 75 bikes, and we have to load each one into a truck. The junior tells us, yo, we're gonna ride tonight. We're gonna ride tonight. We're like, all right, bet. Like, we're hyped. So he's like, all right, meet us at the shopping center. We'll talk about our plan. We go to the shopping center. Junior has his bike in the back of his car, hanging out. It was funny. I wish I had a picture of it, but I didn't. And we go to the spot, and a couple of the UK riders, they decided to go to Paris. Like, we were a little bit outside of Paris, because Paris isn't that big. So we were a little outside of Paris to ride. All the riders from the UK that had Surons and stuff, they went to Paris to ride Surons. So we needed our bikes, which were in the truck with the Suron, to ride with Junior in them. So we had to message them like, yo, where the bikes at? Eventually they dropped them off at someone's Airbnb. So we go to the Airbnb, me, Yellow, a couple other riders, I forget exactly who, but y'all get the point. And we go to the B&B. My friend Arniz, he's like, yo, I'm telling the riders to come to the Airbnb. I'm like, whoa, no, we're not doing that. Like, that is not a good idea. You don't know who's in the pack. You don't know what kind of people these are. Like, it's our first time out of the country. I'm telling them like, yo, that's not a good idea. They know where our bikes are at. The Airbnb owner, not a good idea. He's like, bro, I already told him the location. I'm like, well, this might just go bad. So all of a sudden, 80 bikes just pull up down the street. Wop, wop, da, 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 da. You just hear it. You just hear all the chaos of the bikes and stuff. Mind you, there's ring cameras on the front of the Airbnb fencing to get out of the Airbnb. As soon as we pull off, the Airbnb owner sees us all leave with like 80 bikes. From there, we ride for a little minute. The bike I was on wasn't tuned right at all. Like, it was fouling spark plugs, like it was leaking gas, like the float was stuck, so the gas was just pouring out of the bottom. It didn't have the right spark plug in it, didn't have the right spark plug cap. It was missing bolts in the seat. It was very loose. It just wasn't the proper way I would like to have my bike. And mind you, everyone just pulled up in time as we were pulling off. So I couldn't adjust anything. I couldn't fix it. We go on our ride and I asked the people, I'm like, yo, do you guys have a spark plug? No, we don't carry spark plugs. I'm like, how are y'all riding 2-strokes? Going to the gas station, you could mix wrong. You found a spark plug. You're done. Like, if you don't have a spark plug, it's over. So I'm talking to people like, yeah, I got a spark plug, but I don't have a wrench. I'm like, how is that helpful? Like, why are y'all riding with a spark plug with no wrench? That's not gonna help y'all. Like, it ain't even just about me. It's about y'all too. Eventually, I find a spark plug and they're like, yo, this is a spark plug for 85. I'm like, yo, this gotta work. So I throw the spark plug in the bike. And the bike rides good for a good couple, like, I'd say like an hour or so. Eventually, that bike just hated that spark plug. Of course, it wasn't the right spark plug for the bike, but I just figured it would work for the time being. Bike's running terrible. So we start heading back to the Airbnb. And of course, to go to the location, they had to bring all the bikes back. They didn't really have to, but they didn't know the area. So Junior brought all the bikes back to the Airbnb to bring us inside and then have them split off. We get back to the B&B. We get a phone call. They're like, yo, can you bring the car? C Money's in the hospital. I'm like, what? Why is C Money in the hospital? Like, he was just riding with us. They're like, yo, he got into an accident where someone ran into the back of him on the highway while he was wheeling, and his sprocket broke. He couldn't ride the bike, and his leg was destroyed. We're like, that is not good. When C Money's sprocket broke or whatever, since the bike was not able to be ridden out of there, a French person had to take his bike out of there to safety so the police didn't show up, you know, so no one got no prison time, anything like that. As that, we got that phone call, another phone rings, and it's the Airbnb owner saying, yo, you need to get the bikes out of the Airbnb right now. If you guys don't do that, we're gonna cancel Airbnb and you're gonna be kicked out. Well, we got two situations right now. So we have to bring the car back to C Money to bring them to the hospital. And we also need to get the bikes out of the Airbnb. Mind you, the people on the surrounds were the people who were holding the bikes. The only other place we could keep them is the Airbnb. We called the surround people. We're like, yo, we need the bikes out of the Airbnb. We need them out right now. See, Money's on his way to the hospital. This is a problem. So they don't even care. They really don't. Like, they're just so like in their own world of like what they got going on right now. They're like, yeah, we'll get around to it, whatever. It took forever for them to get around to it. So we take the car back to the spot where we originally met Junior to ride for the night after we rode the strip. So we get there and they're like, yo, see, Money's in the hospital. It's good, but we still need the car, this and that. So we gave him the car. We eventually got the bikes out of the Airbnb. So now we got a bunch of bikes in a box truck. And it's to the point where me and Yellow, this is the same day I got from the airport. This is that same day. So this has just been a busy day. Me and Yellow never got to the Airbnb yet. We don't know, like, we know where we're supposed to stay, but we don't know how we're gonna get there because we don't have no car or anything. So it was to the point where we're chilling at someone's Airbnb and we're like, all right, it's no way we can get over to what's the name's Airbnb, so we might as well just stay here. So we stay there for the night. We get to the Airbnb. You could tell it's not like the nicest area. Like, when you get there, you see the building, and it's kind of like the US, where like it's like the project buildings. You could kind of recognize the projects. We're like, all right, like we just need to be on point. Ain't anything else we could do about it. So we get in the B&B, finally sleep the night, and then the next morning they're messing with bikes, bringing them outside the truck in the parking lot, and it was just like messy. You know you're not in a good area. Why are you bringing expensive item outside to show less fortunate people? You know what I mean? Luckily, no problems, anything like that. So we eventually load up all the bikes back into the truck, and we head to the meetup spot. So all the out of town trucks, they all meet up at this spot with Junior and them. And we leave there and we go to like a field really across the street, to be honest. We go to that field. One thing about Paris is if you get caught on a dirt bike, you could get a sentence of 7 years for wheeling, dangerous driving, everything like that. If they catch you, you could also get $75,000 worth of fines, something along them lines. It's really a high risk, high reward, and people wouldn't even say like it's a reward. It's a great feeling riding a bike in a different country. So that's why I say what the reward would be. So we ride, we meet up in a secluded area so no police show up or anything. So this place is very ducked off. Finally leave the meetup, and we start heading towards like Paris. So it's a great time. All of these riders, everything's good. We see like the Eiffel Tower and everything. We're just riding along. The day went great, you know. My bike wasn't running good at all. I made the best out of the situation. You know, I always made sure I mixed the gas good. And I really had to learn how to mix milliliters from ounces in the US. So I had to learn how many milliliters to pour of 2-stroke oil in the bike, which is not even in gallons on the gas. It's in liters. So I learned that, made sure everything was mixed good. Had a good day of riding. So eventually we think that everyone's like leaving or whatever. So we load the bikes back up into the truck. Meanwhile, they were just waiting for other riders, and we couldn't understand that because it's a language barrier. We didn't find out that they kept riding till later. We load the bikes into the B&B, and C-Money got outside the hospital. I don't know how, but he got outside the hospital where he had surgery and everything. He did have surgery, but it's not good to leave the hospital when you're not supposed to. We need to take C-Money back to the hospital so we can go back to the Airbnb when we need to or whatever. We get to another Airbnb. We're inside the car and we're like, all right, we're gonna take C-Money to the hospital. We'll be back. As we take C-Money to the hospital, situation happens where they were unloading the bikes to put Surons in the truck. Because like I said, this is the truck where the Surons be, where the dirt bikes be, everything like that, because there's no bikes we could put at the other Airbnb because we'll get kicked out. They're unloading the dirt bikes and they're putting them in the Airbnb, and they're putting the Surons in the truck. When they were unloading the dirt bikes, one of the local people seen bikes coming out of the truck. So of course, to them being less fortunate, they're like, yo, this is a lick. He calls up all his friends. He's like, yo, it's like 10 bikes in this truck. All we need to do is pull up with knives and take them shit. So that's what they did. They pulled up like 18 deep, all with knives, and took all the bikes. The bike I was on, all of the UK people's bikes. My friend Kay, he was trying to close the box truck before they could get in, because if he closed the box truck, they couldn't get in because they needed a key or whatever. But they were punching him in the head as he was closing the thing. So shout out to Kay, because, you know, he did that. He did that. Unfortunately, all the bikes still got stolen. So I think it was only like 2 quads or something that didn't get stolen because they didn't have keys. So the bikes get stolen. We get a call. We're like, yo, what do you mean the bikes got stolen? They're like, bro, they pulled up with knives, this and that. A couple of them had air tags, luckily. Unluckily, the bike that I was on didn't have an air tag, so I didn't get that back. A couple of the bikes had air tags. So as soon as we hear that, we're like, yo, we're gonna pull up to the location where the bikes are at. As soon as we track the bikes, we find the location. We're on our way to the bikes. On our way. A car in front of us stops to go into their neighborhood or whatever, however that goes. They stop to turn left to cross the street to go into their part of town, right? So we slow down behind them. As we slow down behind them, boom, we get smacked by the car. We're on our way to go look for our bikes, and we get in a car accident in another country. Language barriers, everything like that. So this is a problem. The lady was on her phone. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, whatever. We're trying to like translate the stuff with like phones, like very messy situation. And mind you, this isn't our car. This is our friend who's in the hospital's car. So he's like, bro, y'all need to pay to get the car fixed, whatever. Everyone's like, no, we're not paying to get the car fixed. Like, the lady who hit the car is paying for the car. And he was like, no, like the insurance isn't the same, it's not gonna work. So these people basically got into a fight with him, and they're like, no, we're not paying for the money or for the car. So they left in an Uber to the bikes because their bikes got stolen. They're like, bro, this is a shit situation. Like, our bikes got stolen. Why do we need to pay for a car that isn't ours, where we were just on our way to go get our bikes back? But the person whose car it was, he wasn't having it. So they left in the Uber towards their bikes. So we're sitting there waiting for people to help us translate and stuff, because her boyfriend, who was coming to help us translate and everything, figure out insurance, everything like that. So he gets there and we're translating everything, and eventually we figure out the situation. As we figure out the situation, they go to the storage where their bikes were supposed to be at in the projects. They go to like the one side of the storage, and as they walk to the storage, in the grass, they just see their like OEM stickers from like a CRF 150R. They see their OEM stickers on the ground. I'll see if I have a video of it.
Yo, we had it fucking hard. The French teeth out the bike's blood. My bike got teethed. Man had to come back, start blamming off doors. Now look, these men wanna come back.
But like, it was stickers missing, stuff like that. And they're like, oh yeah, our bikes are here, like for sure. So what they do is they break open the doors of the storage to get their bikes back. And as they do that, the French people walk out. They're like, what are you doing, whatever. We got a French rider translating everything. And they're like, bro, we need these bikes back. Like, you don't understand. If you don't give these bikes back, it's gonna be a problem. The French people who stole the bikes, they just think it's a joke, but still got their bikes back and everything. Police show up. They're like, why are you guys here breaking in the storage, everything? They're like, bro, they stole the bikes. The French police are like scared of these French people who stole the bikes. So they're like, all right, just show proof that these are your bikes and you guys can go. Show proof it's their bikes. The UK people seen another bike, like a French person's bike, and they're like, nah, fuck that. Since y'all took our bikes, we're taking this bike too. The French people were like, no, that's our bike, saying to the police. And the police are like, all right, prove it's your bike. Eventually they pulled out a title. The French police were like, all right, put the bike back. That's their bike. You guys can have your bikes and go. We're trying to get another bike back. It's in another project somewhere. It's close, but it's not the same projects where the other bikes were at. These bikes were scattered, bunch of different projects. It's literally storage units in the project. We're on our way to the bike place where the stolen bikes are at. Mind you, we're deep as ever, because now it's all the people that were on the Surons in Paris, they all stopped riding, and it's the end of the night. So we came deep as shit, all with bricks, knives, everything. Like, each one of us all had a brick, a knife, something, just to defend ourselves. So we go to where the bikes are at and everything. I was mad as shit, because like, I really wanted to show y'all like what was going on, but my phone was dead. Like, I don't know what it was. In Europe, my phone was not lasting. My phone died. So we're in this situation, and the French people, they're like laughing at us. They think they're taking us for like a joke per se. So one of the French riders is like, bro, you better get the bikes back, this and that. The French people are like, no, we need money for it. And we're like, no, we're not giving you no money. So eventually it came to a situation where the police showed up, so we couldn't do anything. We had to drop all the knives, the weapons, everything to defend ourselves. It was just so like hot with the police. We had to get out of there. So we were like, all right, we're just gonna come back in the morning. So now it's the next morning, and all our bikes are stolen. We were supposed to go to Amsterdam to ride, but a lot of us didn't have bikes anymore, so we didn't go. A lot of us didn't go. We were just like, all right, we'll just go back to the UK, because the UK ride out was coming up the following weekend after Amsterdam. So we go to get C Money's bike from the French people that crashed into him and damaged his bike. We meet up with them. The dude's like, no, we're not giving your bike back for free. Like, we got your bike off the scene. We need money. See, Money was not having it. See, Money gets into some crazy act you know, he does what he does. He wanted his bike back, so he's gonna do anything to get his bike back. So from there, the dude's like, no, I still need money, whatever. A couple key details I'm missing. So as the dude went to go get the bike, pretty much the other riders went, like I said, the next morning to go get their bike back that had the air tag that got stolen. And they show up and they brought tools to break into the storage unit to get their bike back. So what they did was, I'll show y'all in the video, they started cutting the doors off the storage to open it up to get into the storage to get their bike back. See right here, they get their bike back, and then they're on their way back to us because we're all gonna meet up and then we're gonna head back to UK, and a couple of us are gonna split off to Amsterdam. So they get the bike back, everything like that. And then they're on their way to us, and they didn't load the bike up into a truck or anything. And like I said, if you get caught on the bike, it's bad in France. Like, the penalties are much worse than the US. So pretty much they ride the bike to the location that we're at. When they ride the bike to the location they're at, they arrive to our location, and then immediately the police show up. They start searching the VINs on the bikes, everything like that. They start searching the cars we're in. And the one kid from the UK, he had some weed on him, and in France and that, weed is just like much worse of a crime or whatever than the US. So pretty much when they searched the car and they found that, they took him to jail for like 10 grams or something. It was something, like, it wasn't a huge amount. So here's the video right here of him getting arrested. So he ends up getting out after he gets arrested and everything. Another set of police came back and they start searching the cars again because we were all in this spot waiting for the people to bring back the bike or whatever. And pretty much the cops come by because we're just like loitering or whatever. They search some car VINs, and I guess the one dude's car, he didn't have the proper like registration yet or something because he just ordered the car or whatever. So the registration didn't come in the mail, whatever, however that worked. And they ended up towing the car. So this is a UK person and his car got towed in France. So he had to leave his car, had to go with the other Amsterdam people, and he had to come back like weeks later to get his car. Eventually he came to an agreement where a French rider named DRC Mouse, shout out to him, he really helped the situation. He's like the main leader in French bike life. So he really controls a lot of stuff. So we get on the call with him, and basically the French riders took advantage of him because he wasn't around. If Mouse was around, none of these situations would happen where they were taking bikes or anything like that. Because the bikes would all come back to Mouse. Because Mouse has that respect from the French people. They respect Mouse. Since he's gone, they're taking advantage of him and trying to get their way. From there, Mouse gets on the call with C Money. He's like, bro, just give him 500 euros. I will pay you the money back. So Mouse is like, bro, just give him the 500 and I will pay you back no matter what. Mouse's word is very strong, so we believe that. C Money gives him the money to get the bike back. The dude walks away and he goes to get the bike back. It's been like an hour. We're like, yo, we're hungry. So we get food, whatever. We're still in that same spot where we were supposed to meet up with him to get the bike back. It's like a little like shopping strip outside the projects to get the bike at. So we're sitting in this area and another hour goes by and we're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, we've been here for hours. Like, I have pictures of the area, everything. Like, that's how long we were just chilling there. Like, we weren't doing nothing else, just chilling. French riders show up to like help us with the situation, everything. Eventually, dude comes back. He's like, bro, I'm scared to get the bike back because basically what C Money did originally, because he said he owed him the money or whatever for the bike. He gave him the money back. So at this point, we're like, yo, it's getting late. Like, fuck this. We'll figure that shit out later. Our train back to the UK was coming relatively soon, so we had to leave that and then just head back to the UK. So we get onto the train, everything good. We get to the UK finally, probably like 11 p.m. at night. Next day, we're all like settling into the UK because we're gonna be there for like a week and a half or so. He's like, yo, I know your boy Jake 100. He's like, bro, I could take you to his crib, whatever. I'm like, say no more. Cause I'm like, Jake has bikes. Like, Jake has pedal bikes. I'm sure he got me with a pass off. When we link up with Jake 100, it was a good time. I have yellow on pedal bikes, and this is not like his area. So he's pedaling around on a pedal bike and stuff. We rode for like a good minute, just exploring stuff. We go stop for food. We're on like this famous London strip or something. Jake 100 sees a bike. He's like, yo, that's my friend's bike. He's like, we're going to get that bike back. So now I'm on another bike heist to get another stolen bike back. Yo, we follow this, like, it's like a crackhead. We follow him back to like this church park area. I don't even know what it was. We follow him back. We're like, yo, you better give that bike up. Like, shit gonna get real for you. Like, you see how deep we are. So eventually the dude's like, bro, I don't want no problems. Like, I bought this bike. He's like, I have problem with the dude I bought the bike from. He's like, don't worry, I'll straighten this situation out. We took the bike. We get the bike back to the owner. My friend Yellow's like exhausted. So he's like, yo, I'm gonna go back to see Money's, whatever. Jake's like, bro, you could stay here to me. He's like, bro, we'll go for a night ride, whatever. I stay there for the night. I meet up with like a bunch of my UK friends from pedal bikes. Like, I never met these people, but it was so great seeing them for like the first time. It was a good time. So I finally meet up with my UK friends. The next morning, we head to a breakfast spot, so we eat, and then from there, Jake wanted to take me to his bike shop that he's like sponsored by. He worked at, everything like that. We go to the spot, we meet up with C Money and everything. I tell C Money, I'm like, yo, like, I don't have a bike, like, what are we gonna do about it? He's like, bro, we're in London now. I know everyone out here. He's like, a bike is no problem out here. So I'm like, all right, bro, I wanna ride today. He's like, bet, I got you. Hits up his friend, he's like, yo, anyone riding today? Stephan wants to ride, or whatever. They're like, yeah, we're gonna be at this London Bikelife strip. So that's where we meet up. Had a good time. Y'all see, if y'all seen the video, I'll put it right here. Y'all can watch it if y'all want. If y'all don't want to watch it, you know, no problem. We go to the strip to ride, whatever. Eventually the police show up. They're like, yo, you guys can't ride here. And we're like, all right. They're like, did you guys ride here? We're like, no. Meanwhile, everyone just had bikes. It was no trucks, anything like that. So they're like, all right, just get out of here. Load the bikes up, get out of here. So quickly, we all got on bikes and got out of there before they seen like we didn't have trucks or anything. We head home and we're preparing for the big weekend. This is the big UK ride out with Birmingham. They call Birmingham the bike life capital of the UK. And the ride before that is Coventry, where they say it's a little more sweet, you know. They say Birmingham can get real, but the situations have been very good recently. So I'm like, bet, that sounds good to me. C Money finds me another bike to ride for the ride outs. It's a 2022 YZ450F Monster. So I'm happy because this is a bike I love. You know what I mean? So
are in trouble, yeah?
I'm happy that I get to be on a bike that I love. It's not gonna be a terrible bike, you know, it's not gonna have any problems, anything like that. It's newer. I go see the bike, everything. I'm like, yo, this bike's good. Like, I don't have to worry about anything.
In my back, and this is what you'd be doing with your shit, man.
So the dude who was supposed to bring me the bike, he was supposed to come for the weekend or whatever. He basically like bailed out on me. He was like, bro, I'm not coming. So the dude was supposed to bring me the bike or whatever. So we get to Birmingham to visit one of 17 King Dom's friends. We're gonna stay there for the weekend. So Coventry isn't far from Birmingham, so we were staying in Birmingham for the weekend. So we settled in Birmingham, just a calm night, and then the next day is Coventry. As I wake up for Coventry the next day, the dude who was supposed to bring me the YZ450F, he's like, bro, I'm not coming to the ride out. I'm like, huh? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't have a bike. He's like, I don't know, bro. Like, you need to figure it out pretty much. So I was mad as shit about that. I was really mad at that situation. I was mad at that dude, everything like that. So I talked to a bunch of people in the UK Bike Life group chat, And I'm like, yo, who can find me a bike lane? Bro, this is a ride out day. Like, this is why I came to the UK. Eventually, my boy Arniz, shout out to Arniz. I'll put his Instagram right here or something. Y'all go follow him. He a good person. He like, bro, I got a 450. I got you. He's like, tomorrow you won't be able to ride it if anything happens, because his boy had a situation and he wanted his last ride for the weekend. He's like, all right, meet me here. We're close to the meetup spot. I'll bring you the bike, whatever. A good day riding. Coventry, great day. You know what I mean? Everything was going smooth. We really didn't have to worry about the cops or anything. Most they did was like follow us for like a couple minutes. They never had any police helicopter on us, anything like that. So that day went smooth. So it's the end of that day. We go back to Birmingham. They're like, yo, Suron night ride. They're like, don't worry, we got Suron. So, you know, don't worry about not having a Suron. So I'm like, bet. So I talked to the people who were giving me the pass off with the Suron. They had to do something to the Suron. So it took like an hour or so to do that. So the situation with the Suron, we're getting bad. Like in the UK, the police chase electric Surons. They'll chase them with a helicopter and everything. So basically the Surons have a bad name for the UK, unlike the US. In the US, I feel like it's just so you don't make a lot of noise with Bikelife. In the UK, they be doing some crazy things with them. So this ride is kind of like spicy. And it's in the Bikelife capital, which is known to be not good with police. So eventually we get the Surons in the van and I'm headed towards the meetup for where they had the Suron ride. And we're basically from there, we're just gonna park up and find the other Surons. We get to the meetup spot and this dude had an incident with another Suron rider, like another dude, where his bikes were stolen from his storage area. He had problems where he wanted money from the dude who I was riding the Suron with. And he's like, bro, I don't have the money right now. The dude pulls out a big ass machete. Big ass machete. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Because they don't got guns in the UK. All they got is big ass, like knives, everything like that. So, dude pulls out a big ass machete, just whipping it at him and shit. This dude's running towards his van and shit, trying to get away. Meanwhile, I'm like across the street, so I don't like interfere with that. Like, I don't want this dude to get hurt, but I don't want to get killed either. So I'm staying away to avoid this situation. So eventually I ride away with these other Suron riders. They're like, bro, just get away from this situation right now. He's like, we'll figure that shit out to get you home later. Eventually, like, we see like a helicopter like following the Surons and stuff. So we're like ducking, trying to avoid the helicopter and stuff while we're on the Surons. I see this dude running down the street with a shirt on his like eye. He got no shirt on. It was covering his eye. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I go closer towards it, and it was the dude I was borrowing the Suron from. I'm like, yo, that's him. He's like, Steph, get out of here, get out of here. He's like, follow me. He runs into like this area where like we're out of sight, out of like helicopters, police, anything like that. This dude doesn't have his Suron. So we're like, shit, like, what's gonna go on with this? So he calls his girlfriend. His girlfriend is on her way to pick him up because he's injured. I don't know if he got slashed in the eye with the knife or anything, but he's injured. So eventually his girlfriend shows up and we can't put the Suron in the car because she got a little car. So he's like, bro, you're gonna have to follow. It is cold as shit. I don't know what, in the UK, even in the summer it is cold. I don't know what goes on. UK only has like maybe like a month worth of good weather. So it's cold as shit. It's probably like 40 degrees at night. And I'm following them like on these like highway type roads. Eventually we get to the spot where I could put the Suron up and we'll go to bed. Just wait for the next day of the Birmingham ride out. This is the main day. The Birmingham ride out is the best expected day for the Bikelife trip. So I'm dependent on this pass off of this YZ450 because my friend Arniz can't give me the bike. So it's the next morning, I'm making sure everything good. I text the dude. Some crazy situations happened last night. A couple people don't want to ride, but I still need the bike to ride. He's like, yeah, who's not riding, whatever. I tell him, When he heard who I said wasn't riding, he's like, I'm not going no more. I'm like, yo, what? Like, yo, this the last day, this the most important day. I need a bike to ride. He's like, I can't make it. I'm not doing it. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck? Are you okay? I did not just travel from the US to the UK to not ride. That was the main plan. That was everything. That was the main reason I came over. Me doing a little bit of scavenging. Eventually, I found a rider who would let me ride their bike. Their bike was a decent bike, you know, it had its problems, but it's the only bike I could get right now. So I wasn't worried about it. I'm like, yo, it's a bike to ride, it's good. We get to the bike, whatever. I make sure it's good. He take me for like a test lap to make sure it's all right. Bike feel good, everything like that. I did like a couple minor adjustments, make the seat tighter, everything. We finally head off towards the meetup of the ride out. A couple of the riders who weren't riding anymore, they're like, you know what, like this is the big day, so we will come out to ride. For doing all that fussing for the dude saying like, oh, these people aren't coming out, these riders still came out, and I still didn't get the bike. We go to the meetup, everything's good, everything's smooth. Even cops are passing us and like not bothering us. Mind you, we're with like a good pack. All right, it seems smooth out here. It doesn't seem like any problems, anything like that. Good day riding. This dude was giving me a pass off on a YZ450F Monster Edition, which was good. The bike wasn't in the best condition. It had its problems because the dude was falling on that bike. It was a decent bike to ride, you know, because I didn't want to ride the bike that I was mainly on the whole day. We got to a spot where we were in public, but it was like this parking lot. It was on a busy road for sure, and it was all these bikes in this parking lot. The dude wanted his bike back, his Monster 450. So I gave it back. I'm like, all right, yeah, I got you. It's your bike, whatever. As I'm changing the battery for the GoPro, the cops just stroll past in a police van. They're all just looking at us. And the way that they went is the way we had to go on our route for the ride out. We start heading towards the way that they're going. So eventually we get to the roundabout. This roundabout has police on every single corner with spike strips in their hand. If y'all don't know, like spike strips, they pop tires. Like that is not good because you lose control of the bike when you don't have air in your tires on the bike. These cops are throwing spike strips, splitting up the packs and everything because they're throwing spike strips at different times, different corners, everything like that. Splits up a lot of us up. Eventually, I got to a spot where it was a couple people I was with that I was originally riding with. So I got with them, avoided the spike strips, everything like that. As we're going down the road, it's just more cops popping up with spike strips on corners and corners. So we're just avoiding spike strips, like turning, avoiding them. But I'm sticking with my pack because these are the people I came with. I'm not leaving them. Eventually, we get on the highway. Police helicopter over us for like 20 minutes. We're riding down the highway, everything. Just riding casually. We finally get to one of the exits we have to go to. Yo, as soon as we are about to take this exit, a cop jumps out of the bushes of like this forest and throws a spike strip. It misses my tires from like that much. Like literally, it was close as shit to me. I'm not gonna lie. I had this hoodie on right here. That's why this is hanging up, because this shit is like, yo, I'm not wearing this shit again. That could be bad luck. So as you can see, orange is bright as shit. I'm on a red CRF 250R, like a 2020, and I had an orange and gray hoodie. I'm a big target. So that whole time, I didn't find this out till later when I was arrested, that the helicopter was looking at me the whole time, wasn't looking at anyone else. This is crazy because I'm not even from the UK, like I'm not a problem. I avoid the spike strips, everything, the helicopter's still on us. It gets to a point where a couple riders are splitting off to go to their areas and shit, where the helicopter is following them for a little minute. And eventually the helicopter just follows us back into the pack. So, mind you, it's all the riders I came with. It's literally just all of us together. Could be a couple other people, but you know what I mean? I wasn't paying attention to them. We're going through like neighborhoods and stuff, avoiding these cops. And like as this helicopter's on us, it's telling the ground units like where we're at and stuff. So the cops are just waiting for us on the corners we're about to go on with spike strips. So we're having to avoid spike strips. We're having to avoid the helicopter from seeing us. It was just a mess. So it got to the point where we go another like 20 minutes just getting chased. And it got to the point where we had to go across this like canal, I would say. I'll show y'all in the video.
Oh, nah, man. What the fuck?
It's like this little like creek under us or whatever, and it's like a little canal bridge. As we're coming up to Canal Bridge, the cops they hide behind like minivans and shit, like SUVs, so you can't see them, so they'll throw it out just in time just to hit tires, so you lose more control of the bike, so it's easier to catch you. So they throw the spike strips, separate me and the people I'm following. They go across the spike strips, their tires all get popped. Luckily, they know the area. But me, to avoid the spike strips, I turned around so I didn't get my tires popped, so I wouldn't lose control of the bike. As I did that, the dude in front of me, he falls off his bike. It's like a YZ450F monster again. So he falls in front of me. I don't know how he did. He must have been a worm or something, but he falls in front of me, panics, and I turn around with my bike problems. Like the clutch, like it needed clutches bad. Like, I don't know if it was the basket or what, but basically when you let the clutch out smooth, it pops. Like it literally just does like a wheelie a little bit. So I'm trying to like get the clutch to go smooth while I'm turning around from this cop. I got away from this cop, and this dude in front of me, he's running away from the cop. As he's running away from the cop, he like shouting or whatever, so I hear him. So I stop, because in the US, it is no man left behind. When someone gets into a problem, whether it's their bike breaking or the police chasing them, to get your people out of your situation, you're gonna do anything you can. I'm not gonna say anything, because that's a lot. But you're gonna do a lot you can to help this person to get out of their situation so they don't go to jail or anything or receive any penalty. I stop as he's running towards me. The cop stops at his bike. So I'm like, all right, cool. So boom. As I stop, I let the dude on the back of the bike. So now he's a passenger on the bike that I'm on. So as we're riding away, I don't see anyone in sight. I don't see any cars, anything. It's literally just a clear road. Can't see anything. So I try to make a turn where I think they would go. So as I make the turn or whatever, I see one of the riders from the US that came to the UK. I'm like, yo, where we going? Where we going? He's like, go, go. He doesn't recognize it's me. Now I'm not gonna say it's his fault, but it is drawing how he did that shit. He doesn't see that as me. And from there, I just keep going. Cause he's under like this little bridge shit so the helicopter doesn't see him. So I kept going to like get out of his sight or whatever. As I do that, like I said, it's no cars, no nothing. Like it's literally just clear roads. So I'm asking the dude, I tell him, I'm like, yo, like where do we go? Like, I'm not from here, you know this. He's like, bro, I'm not from here either. I'm from a whole different part. He said, bro, I'm from Essex. I said, huh? So from there, when he tells me from Essex, I'm like, all right, like, I feel like I have good experience enough to get away from cops. I'm just avoiding all these cops with spike strips on corners. I'm trying to avoid the helicopter. Every road I go onto is just a open road. No trees, no nothing. Like, it's literally just houses and road. So I don't know if I was going through the hood or like what type area I'm going through. Every time I turn into a neighborhood, it's a dead end at the very end. So the helicopter's on me. It sees me go to these neighborhoods and sees that it's a dead end. So as I try to come back to the top of the neighborhood, I gotta avoid cops with spike strips throwing them at me at the top of the neighborhood. So I'm avoiding these cops and shit. It got to the point where a cop was chasing me, and then in front of me was another undercover cop. So I had to turn around, avoid the one cop. I'm going through little like parks. It's not like a big park. It's just like a little park in front of the neighborhood. And I'm going through them to like turn around from these cops to go the other way. Eventually it got to the point where these cops ended up going the same way. So I went the other way to avoid them, and they chased me out of there. I hit a right, and then I'm going down this road, and I'm thinking I'm getting away from them. I hit a left, and as I hit that left, it's a cop hiding behind a minivan. I look up at the helicopter, I look back down. So I look back at the road, making sure I'm good. And as I look back down at the road, the cop throws a spike strip. And just in time, I ran that shit over, popped both my tires. So now I have less control of the bike. So I quickly hit a right. He was at the corner. I hit a right. I'm going down this road. I'm looking for like shit to get under to hide from the helicopter and stuff. So eventually I see like a little more trees on this road. So I try hitting the left. As I hit the left, my tires got deflated to the point where it was very hard to control. So as I'm turning, I just fall off the bike. And as I fall off the bike, this dude runs away from the bike. So I started running with him, and then I'm like, no, fuck that. So I turned around quick. Like, it was quick. Like, it was like that. Like, he started running away. I'm like, all right, nah, snap out of that. And then I ran back towards the bike. As I'm running back towards the bike, one of the undercover cops that was chasing me, he runs the tire over so I can't pick the bike up. So from there, I can't pick the bike up. I run towards like a Tesco. It's like a UK shopping center. And as I was about to run in there, I'm like, yo, like this is a dead end. I also just had surgery on my collarbone right before the trip. So I'm like, yo, to avoid like any tackling, anything like that, messing up my surgery, I'm gonna just get on the ground. So I got on the ground. And then he told me all the bullshit, like, yo, you know why you're arrested, this and that. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. We get to the unit and shit. They take me to my cell, whatever, the holding cell, because I didn't have court yet. Had court Monday. Well, they told me Monday, but it ended up being Tuesday, which is some bullshit, because if y'all know, holding cells ain't shit in there. Of course it's jail, but I'm saying, like, you just have less than prison. I get to my holding cell or whatever, they're like, yo, how can we contact your people or whatever. I'm like, bro, I'm from the US, like, I don't know how you're gonna contact these people. I'm like, yo, here's the number, call them for me, please. They're like, all right, we got you. Completely avoided that shit, didn't call my parents, anything like that. So treated me like shit. I'm like, all right, can't wait till Monday, can't wait till Monday. It's Sunday, so I'm like, all right, bet, just a little night. And then I'll go to court, figure everything out from there. I'm waiting to go to court and everything. I'm waiting on Monday. It's like the morning. I'm like, all right, bet. It's gonna be a good morning. Like, just gotta make the best out of the situation. Waiting for court. They don't come get me. I'm like, yo, when's court? They're like, it's tomorrow. I'm like, yo, y'all told me today. They're like, yeah, we thought so, whatever, da da da. So I wait the next day for court. I wake up early, shit, to get ready, everything like that. I had a Bikelife shirt on. It was actually Bikelife DC. I'll see if I had the shirt. I can show y'all. I had this shirt on. It's the shirt I had on in prison. Yes, sir. Long live Big 28. But yeah, man. So I had that shirt on. And in the UK, Bikelife is considered like a gang. That's how the police look at it, which is stupid. But I had that shirt on and I had to go to court. And of course I couldn't wear a suit. I didn't have access to a suit, anything. I'm waiting for them to take me to court and shit. They take me to the interrogation room. They're like, yo, who is this? Yo, they showed me the GoPro footage. I'm like, yo, this shit looks tough. But they showed me the GoPro footage and like I was mad as shit because I'm like, yo, they gonna keep this GoPro. Like, I can't even post this anything. They're like, do you know who this is? This and that. I'm like, no comment, no comment. Everything they said, I just no comment. You know how that shit go. I got out of the interrogation room. My solicitor, he's like, all right, we're gonna figure this out. And he's like, listen, everything should be good in court tomorrow. I go to court, my solicitor doesn't come. They're like, oh yeah, your solicitor didn't come, so we gave you a new solicitor. So my new solicitor is just like this Indian lady, and like she doesn't speak the best English. It's hard to understand her. It was a messy situation. So I had to tell this new solicitor everything I told my other solicitor. So I had to explain everything, and then within that, my court is in like an hour or so. So she got to comprehend everything, understand everything, and then say it in the court for me. I'm wearing the Bikelife shirt in the court, and I'm like, no, like, I can't do that. Right before they took me up to court, I inside out the shirt. I have a picture of me in the court with the shirt like this. So it's like a little harder to comprehend that it's Bikelife and stuff in front of the judge, because like I said, they look at Bikelife as a game. Are you guilty to this, whatever? The solicitor told me plead guilty to everything. They're like, listen, it's gonna knock off a lot of time, and basically they have a lot of footage of you. You can't prove that you're innocent for this. I'm like, all right, it does make sense what you're saying. I said that I was guilty. They're like, all right, but one of the things I said I wasn't guilty for, because they couldn't prove it. So they're like, all right, we have to take you back to court. I'm like, yo, I ain't even from here. Like, why you gotta take me back from court? Just give me my time. I'll do my time and go home. After court, they take me back to the little prisoner holding shit for court. I get on the bus to prison, and I'm like, yo, like, this is jail in the UK. Like, bro, I'm gonna get stabbed in this job. I'm like, yo, this shit ain't gonna go sweet for me, especially being the only US citizen. You're checking in people for like prison, everything like that to go to the cell. You gotta have a cellmate and stuff if you ain't do the biggest crime in the world. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna get along with none of these people. I'm like, bro, this cellmate shit gonna be ass, everything. Eventually it got to the point where the prison people that went to the same court, we all went to like the same unit to like check in. And we're all like waiting in the waiting area, and everyone's like, yo, would you go to prison for this and that? And then it was to the point where I met someone from Canada, which is close to the US. It was to the point where I met someone from Canada, and he's like, yeah, bro, like, I ain't really do this, whatever. Bro, this kid is literally innocent. Like, you could literally tell that this kid is not guilty of anything that they're accusing him of. This dude is a very religious dude, everything like that. Basically, he was just coming to the UK to visit some friends for vacation. Someone thought that his bag was their bag, and they tried bringing weed to the UK. So when he got through the airport, everything was good and everything. But then when he got to the hotel, they asked to search his bag, everything. He's like, yeah, it's good, because of course he didn't know anything was in there. So that's why I say this dude was innocent, because like, why would you let someone search your bag if you know that something's in there? He's like, yeah, bro, they said it was my weed, everything. So I went to prison, and then I had another court date in like a whole nother area. So that's why they brought him to this new prison I was going into. So I'm like, bro, I'm from the US. He's like, bro, what? He's like, why they got you? I'm like, basically dirt bike, stuff like that. So I told him everything. So we became like friends from there, like literally like in basically like in the check-in area, bro, we became like great friends. So from there, they're like, bro, y'all be great cellmates. So we're like, bet, like, we'll do this shit. I became cellmates with him. Like, I'm thinking prison is gonna be terrible, everything like that. But with him, like, the time was great. We were just friends. Like, we were just conversating, everything like that. We were looking at everything positive. We knew we were gonna get over these situations. So it wasn't the worst of times. When I got to prison, a lot of UK riders, they, of course, know people in prison in the UK. So they were helping by reaching out to the members in prison, and they were like, yo, we got a new person coming to y'all prison, help him out, like he's from America, you know what I mean? So when I got there, they was giving me food, they was looking out for me, making sure I was safe, everything like that. So shout out to the UK members of Bikelife, shout out to the prison guys, you know, like, free them. Basically, while I was locked up, I got C-Money was saying free me, and then all of a sudden, a couple days later after I got locked up, his house got ran into by police. They put him on some conspiracy something. I don't know exactly, that's none of my business. But pretty much the charges that he got were related to electronic devices. So I had my computer, my whole suitcase, everything in the house. So my computer with my hard drive, all the footage from France, UK, the whole Bikelife trip is all locked up with the feds right now. So that's why y'all don't see any of that video, and I'm very highly upset about it. But of course, free see money, you know. It's just, you know, we just go through some bumps in the road sometimes. The police I got arrested with, they have my brand new GoPro. So basically, my GoPro and then my hard drive, computer, everything, that's on 2 different police cases. I don't know how that works, but yeah, pretty much 2 different police units have all my electronics. I basically came back with my clothes to the UK. Like, came back with clothes and my helmet. So from there, of course, they start moving you to different blocks after you've been in the introduction block. So he's like, bro, I'm leaving. I'm like, what? Like, we were supposed to move together. Like, because they were supposed to move us together because, like, we were getting along. We're from the same areas, everything like that. Like, everything was just connected. So I got so connected with this dude. It was like sad when he like left my block for real. He gets moved and I get this new cellmate and he's like this weird ass older dude. Like, he's just like weird. Basically, like, the dude's like a square. Like, I don't know how else to put it. The dude's just like a square. He's trying to tell me how to run shit in our cell and shit, like clean up after yourself and shit. I'm like, bro, this is jail. Like, I understand to clean up after yourself, but bro, I'm not making this shit spotless. This is prison. This is not my fucking room, anything like that. So we're just having arguments and constant like bickering, shit like that. It was just a mess. That whole time, it just like made prison worse. Like, dudes was lighting themselves on fire, smoking K2, like, it was literally just like US prison. Like, only thing we had different was a TV, and you can get a TV in the US. So recently I just got a call from my boy, who was my original cellmate, because he was supposed to do like 6 months or something, because weed is heavy in the UK. Like, you really get time for weed in the UK. So eventually I go to my next court date where they tell me, they're like, all right, this is your final sentencing. It was like 3 months or whatever. And in the UK, you do half your sentencing. So it was like a month and a half. I was already in that prison for like a month. I just had to wait like another 2 weeks or whatever. And then I would go home. Another thing that happened while I was in prison, I hit 100K on YouTube. It was kind of crazy because, like, man, I've been trying to hit 100K on YouTube for forever. Like, I just been grinding towards that shit. And the fact that I was locked up and I hit that shit was so frustrating. It was like a good feeling that I hit that shit, but bro, like, being locked up, you can't see your achievement. I couldn't even see like it on YouTube or anything. All I could see was a picture that someone sent me. But shout out to my boy Jeff. He showed me that I had 100K on YouTube. And when, of course, I got out of jail, I had a bunch of messages on Instagram like, yo, congrats on 100K on YouTube. We understand how hard you've been working on this and that. So like, I was very grateful for that opportunity. You know, so shout out to y'all for 100K. Like I said, I really appreciate y'all for that. Pretty much it's still hard to post, so I would really give y'all a bunch of content, but it's really just hard with the new YouTube restrictions and everything like that. So that's why y'all just don't see as many Bikelife videos. To thank y'all for that. So from there, I finally do my time or whatever. So it's that Friday. I'm going home Monday. I'm so excited. Friday comes around. It's like 6 p.m. on a work week. So Friday comes around. Immigration comes to my door. They're like, yeah, we're deporting you out of here. You're not going home Monday. I'm like, yo, how the fuck does that work? My sentencing is over. How the fuck can y'all do this? So I talked to like the CO and shit. They're like, yo, they're holding you illegally. I don't know what you can do about that since you're a US citizen, but this is not right. Like, you're not even supposed to be here anymore. If I get through the weekend or whatever, immigration finally comes see me that Monday, because they're not gonna come to see me on the weekend. So they meet up with me. They're like, yeah, this is what's happening. You're being deported. From there, you can't be in the UK for 10 years, whatever. So they're like right now we can't get you out of here. You got to stay in prison till we get some opening in immigration to let you in to a new block. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I'm not even supposed to, I already did my time. I'm not even supposed to be in prison. So another week goes by. Crazy people in prison. Dude had mental problems. Basically in the middle of like the landings, they call them landings, like the levels of the prison. I was on the very top level. So we go out to association where we hang out with our people for like an hour, all the cellmates and shit. And then you head back to your cell because it's 23-1. So as we're heading back from association to our cells and shit, this one dude who just got in, because mind you, it's like the beginning block, like where you just come in. So I was there because I wasn't causing any problems. Basically, when you don't cause any problems or anything like that, they just keep you around. So after association is over, it's like the landing, whatever. Basically, instead of the drop going all the way to the bottom, it's metal fencing in between the landing. Basically, a landing is just like a square. Like, it's literally just a walk around square. And then, so, in between the landing is just to the floor. In the in-between part of the landing is fencing, so no one gets thrown over, of course, to the bottom, you know. People would die, shit like that. Dude jumps onto the middle landing and just starts hopping on that shit. He's trying to get that shit to break so he could fall through. I don't know like exactly like what was going on with him, but it was a problem. So they got everyone back into their cell except for this dude. So like there's like a little peek hole sometimes in the cells. So the little window for like a good like 20 minutes, the window was open. When it's skinny, but the landing's long as shit. So every time he's like in front of where I could see, I just see him like hopping like Sky Zone. Like it was crazy. It was probably 30 COs all around the landing trying to get this dude to stop what he's doing and shit. And he just continued that shit for hours until lunch happened, and then he finally got off the landing. Another crazy thing, it was like the next day or some shit. This dude lights himself on fire, like trying to burn himself, and it smokes up the whole block, like the whole shit. They have to bring everyone outside because it's like burning inside, like you could smell smoke, everything. They had to bring everyone outside to the gym area outside where people go for like association and everything. I'd say probably like 400 of us all in the association area of the gym outside. And of course, so when association happens, it's the two levels you're near that go out for association, and then the other 2 levels, they go out at a later time. Everyone's out for the dude who lit himself on fire. They have like, I don't know if it's firefighters or what, but lighting this dude like with water and shit. Not lighting, you know what I mean? But anyway, all the people from the blocks are outside. It's a couple people that don't get along with each other. Yo, they start looking at each other, and then one dude just steals the shit out of the other dude. So now the COs are tackling these people that are fighting and shit. They had to like let us in earlier because that situation where the dudes were fighting and shit. Then finally that Friday comes up. Immigration people take me out of prison, so I'm hype as shit. I'm like, yo, this shit gonna be lit. Like, it's not gonna be great, but you know, it's not prison. Immigration was insane. It's nobody who speaks English. Nobody. So it was very difficult for me to like go through the day and just like try to hang out with people who don't speak English. Like, it's a language barrier. I don't know what they're saying. There's Russian people, Czechoslovakian people, Brazilian people, a bunch of Albanians, Romanians, like literally everything. It was crazy. French people. I do my time in immigration for like a week or so, and then they're like, yo, we're finally gonna deport you, whatever. And then from there, they finally pick me up at like 5 in the morning to go to London Heathrow Airport to get sent home. So they finally take me over to the airport and shit. treated me like a celebrity, like 4 airport people all around me at all times, making sure I don't like leave their perimeter, anything. Bunch of people, mind you, I'm in public now, so a bunch of people just staring at me like, yo, who is he? Like, yo, they were taking me to the front of like the security line, TSA, everything, like everything, all the security checkpoints, everything, just taking me to the front. Mind you, this is London Heathrow Airport, so this is a bigger airport. This is more known. 500 people in like the TSA line. They just like, excuse me, just take me to the front, check me, boom, all right, you're good. Then I get through TSA and shit. I look at one of the clocks because I didn't have a phone. The police took my phone, my GoPro, everything like that. So when I look at the clock or whatever, I'm like, I look at my paper or whatever, and I see that my flight is taking off like now. I'm like, yo, like, we're late as shit. He's like, bro, don't worry. Cause like the airport people were cooler with me, cause like I ain't have no involvement with them. I wasn't hurting them. So they're like, don't worry, you good. I get to the front and like, I guess it was like, the plane was like a little later or whatever. So like everyone lined up to get on the plane. Yo, they put me in the front of the line. They skipped everyone. They just put me on the plane first. They're like, all right, you go to the back. Sent me to the back. They gave my passport to the pilot. Listen, when you land, you pick up the passport from the pilot. You're good. So I just had a calm flight. You know, I was just watching John Wick and stuff. I was watching, because I've seen a couple of movies in prison, like John Wick and stuff, but I couldn't see like the full series. So luckily the plane that I was on, it had the full series of John Wick. All the movies I missed, I watched the whole series. Good John. So eventually the flight was ending after I finished my series, which was a good John, because it literally was like just in time. I had like an hour left of flight time, and then I was landing in Philly. My boy Jeff, luckily I got in contact with him to pick me up from the airport, because it was a work day or something like that. I land, I go through like the immigration check or whatever. Where did you go? Why'd you go there? Everything like that. They let me go, and then I'm walking, and I finally see my boy Jeff. I'm like, yo, what? Like, I'm really out of prison right now. I'm seeing my people. Like, this is crazy. Jeff picked me up. He's like, bro, what you want to do? I'm like, bro, let's go get a cheesesteak right now. From there we go, get the cheesesteak, and then we're close by the strip where a bunch of people in Philly ride dirt bikes at and shit. Within like 10 minutes, I was on a dirt bike. Great time. It was a great time. Like that day coming out, explain my story to a couple people. And then from there, you know, I just continued on with life.
I was on my way home when I got a call, and they said Stephan was looking for me. I was so hyped. I was like, turn it around. You know, he was locked up in the UK. Dumb stuff, but hey, we're about to meet Stephan.
Good, man. You good?
Man, they let my man out the bank.
Y'all got bikes?
Come on, man.
Can I see a bike?
I just got a brand new 150.
Can I ride it?
For real? You really want to ride it?
Yeah, I got a helmet.
Are we taking it out?
Yeah, man. Yo, we gonna take it out, you two. You know, Stephan say trying to get on a bike. Yo, they got 3 bikes right there. You forgot?
They did the zip pack. Alright. Definitely need a helmet.
Yo, what was jail like in the UK?
Yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was an experience.
That's crazy. You really got locked up. Yo, he really got locked up for riding a dirt bike over in what, France?
Birmingham, UK. Got some fresh gloves. This is all my bike shit that I was riding with. Hoodie. Got the helmet, most important. Hey, this is how they found me. This color right here, that's how they found me.
I saw
red
it in
bike
the video.
and the orange hoodie, that's how they got me.
That's crazy.
Might as well
You gonna
throw-
switch your color up now?
throw some, nah. Just be more discreet. I'm saying, shout out my boy Stacks. He got me to pass off on the YZ 125 in France. I'm saying that's his brand right there. We outside
That's
with it.
crazy. So how long was you locked up for total?
A month and a week.
A month and a week for riding a dirt bike. Right? Think you can handle a month and a week out in the UK in jail?
Then they deported me.
Then kicked them right out.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
And I like turn around to look and see if there's any.
Everybody, they got everybody calling. Hype.
Yeah.
I don't even know if people know he's really out. Anybody even know you out, Steph?
Be riding by your house, huh?
Do anybody even know you out? You just surprising everybody.
Surprising people. Yo, I'm about. Got it. Good. Man. 24, 23?
23.
23?
He's so hyped to ride a bike, he forgot the helmet.
No, I was gonna grab it. I was just gonna.
You turn the gas on, little man?
Yeah, it's on. So.
Them 150s.
Grateful to be in the position that I was free. So I really had to give my thanks to my boy Jeff, because he really helped me out while I was in jail. He was reaching out to people for me, getting in contact with my family for when the shit happened, everything like that. When the UK people wouldn't reach out, you know, my boy Jeff reached out, got them in contact with my mom, everything like that. So I'm really grateful for my boy Jeff. So for that, I did give him one of my CR85s. I gave him a 2006 CR85 with a title, of course. You know, I just figured, like, when I was on the plane, I'm like, yo, like, I really gotta show appreciation to my boy Jeff, because when shit go left, he was there for sure. Like, anytime shit went left, he was always there. So I'm like, damn, I really missed his birthday 2 years in a row because of accidents, like shit like this, like literally. So with jail, being in jail and being in the hospital where I couldn't see him both times, I really wanted to show appreciation to him for helping me out through all these bad things. So I never recorded it because I feel like you don't need to record that. I don't feel like I don't need to show anybody that I did that, because it's like, I'm not looking for clout for that. I'm just showing appreciation to him for that. Yeah, I did give him my 06 CR85. I still got one, so my plan was just to get all my friends on CR85s and have a good time. But yeah, shout out to my boy Jeff. He really helped me out with that one. And then the following weekend, I wore the same shirt. To DC. And I seen the monument, took a picture with the monument in the shirt. Made a little post, you know, like, oh, I was in prison in this shirt, you know. Like, it's just a good feeling. But yeah, that was my experience. It was insane. I don't really have many other words to say than that because, like, bro, that was a long ass experience. But like I said, man, I'm blessed to be here, you know. It's just been crazy. And just today though, I just got a text from my boy Abraham that he was coming home literally today. Like, I'll show y'all the text, cause
yo, what's good, my guy? I just took the plane. I'm in Amsterdam right now. I'm supposed to go back today.
yeah, after DC, I pretty much text my people. I used the same way that people were texting me in prison. I used it to text my inmates that I was in prison with that are still in jail. So I text my boy Abraham, text him like, yo bro, you good? Everything like that. Like, yo bro, I'm good, you know. Just keeping my head high, you know. Hoping for November, everything like that, because that's the time he's getting out. But just now, he texted me 2 days ago. He's like, bro, they just told me that my case is dismissed and I'm getting out Monday. I'm like, bet. Today's Monday. He just texted me. He's like, yo, bro, I'm on my plane home. I'm like, say no more, bro. I'm hype as shit that he's going home, everything like that. So shout out to my boy Abraham. Great time meeting you, bro. Like, I can't wait to see you again. But, you know, yeah, ever since then, I just been holding my head high. I'm like, yo, times could be worse. You know what I mean? Like, we've been through this, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be home, you know? Feel great. You know, you never want to be in that situation. It's just not what you want to be in. I'm not going to say it's the worst situation, you know? Shit could always be worse, but it's just not where you want to be. But yeah, I hope y'all like this life story, because this is really what I really went through. No cuts, anything like that. Also, I just made a new brand. It's called Constant. Y'all can check it out. I have hoodies for sale on my website. I'll link it below. I'll put links right here. I'll show y'all the templates so you know if y'all want one, y'all can get. But yeah, man, I'm gonna just show y'all the hoodies and everything like that. Thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know if y'all want to hear more life stories kind of like this. You know, it's really harder to post bike life videos right now because YouTube's getting more strict. They're not really liking the bike life content. They want to make everything age restricted. Like, it's really just harder to post videos. Like, I really have so many videos to give y'all, but I just can't. YouTube is just making it harder for me. So if I did that, they just like get rid of my channel, which is unfortunate. But man, y'all see it. But yeah, man, this is my new brand. It's called Constant. Hope y'all like the design. I'm gonna have more coming soon, of course. But yeah, this is really what I've been working on. Cause all the YouTube stuff is just not working out, man. It's very unfortunate, but you know, that's how life goes sometimes. Like I said, it's on all the sleeves, literally. Yeah, man. This the back. This the front. There's two different colorways so far. Brown, gray. Oh, damn. My 07s or 05s. Damn. I got the hoodie. It say motionful on it. You know, because we have emotion. Constant on the front. Sleeve. Constant on the back. Constant on the front. Constant on the back, of course. Like I said, motionful in the hoodie. You know. Same thing on the sleeve. But yeah, man. Hey, I'll make a deal with y'all. If y'all sell me out of hoodies, I'll drop one of the big ride outs. I'm thinking I'll drop the DC ride out. If y'all sell me out of hoodies, I'll drop the DC ride out. That's really what I've been working on, like, since I can't do YouTube and everything like that. So if y'all would like to support it, I would appreciate that. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this story. Let me know if y'all want more. And I'm going to see y'all later.